What up? It's your boy Don, and I was actually working on like a kind of a script for like a video that I've been wanting to make for a while. But this whole situation came up, so I was like, I want to talk about this because this just goes to show you how unserious people take things when it affects certain people. When it's about certain people, and we know this. We've seen the stuff with the BAFTA situation and how it automatically turned into black people are insensitive because they just don't understand this and that, even though the situation was much bigger than what the man said. It's the fact that it was allowed to be said on and broadcasted to millions of people with a 2-hour delay. The fact that Free Palestine and certain other words was able to get bleeped out, but all of a sudden when it came to offensive slurs to black people, that was allowed to slide. So but these things like that, it just goes to show you how unserious not just America is, but the world is when it comes to us. It just speaks to how anti-blackness isn't just an American thing. You know what I'm saying? Does America build itself off that? Yes, it does. But it's a global thing that's going on. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into it. Let's talk about the Kevin Hart roast. I've seen it because I get on Netflix, because Monday Night Raw comes on Netflix. So I saw it a few times, but I wasn't really interested in it because further, was it Kevin Hart's birthday? Like, why was there a roast? What was going on? Kevin Hart, for a long time, the consensus on him has been he's not that funny, or he's family friendly funny. So it's just like, okay, I don't expect it to be worth my time. I don't expect it to be something that I would want to give my time to because it's Kevin Hart. He's up here. People up here are very meticulous about who they decide to give a platform to and a spotlight to. A lot of people was like, oh, Kevin, like I saw, I think it was Joe Budden podcast, they were saying, oh, the Kevin, this was weeks ago. Oh, the Kevin Hart roast is coming up, and he's probably gonna have some good comedians that's really going to give it to him, this and that. And he's gonna pick this person, that person, and he literally did not. He literally picked the worst people that you can have. Nobody that can actually like give it to him. Nobody that's actually funny, and that's kind of what the talk is gonna be. Comedy, I like comedy. I like to laugh. I like jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm into that shit. But as of late, I feel like comedy has gotten super watered down, and it's not the fault of cancel culture. It's the fault of the fact that we allow people to call themselves comedians, and if they look a certain way, if they push a certain agenda, like there's people that are famous comedians because they're attractive. There are people that are famous comedians because they may be related to somebody else. There are people that are famous comedians because they already had a platform and they decided, you know what, I'm gonna start telling jokes now. There are some people that are just famous. We like to talk about DEI. There are people that are literally considered comedians that are not funny, but get the biggest platform because they fucking white. Let's not sugarcoat it. That's the only reason. The fucking Tony Hinchcliffe motherfucker, he's not funny. I don't think Andrew Schultz is funny. He tells fucking dad jokes, but he has a fucking podcast and he gets fucking platform and shoved down people's throats. There's a lot of comedians that I see that are either not funny or their whole bit is just crowd work. They can't tell, like, you can tell certain comedians, I feel like the best comedians are the ones that you can tell they lived a certain life, they had certain experiences, and they've been able to go through it and be able to make jokes about it. Those are the best comedians, the ones that have been through real struggle, been through real pain, been through real turmoil in their life, and are able to make jokes out of it, whether it's self-deprecated or this and that. But a lot of comedians are, you can tell, come from just so much privilege. And I'm not just talking about white privilege, I'm talking about privilege in general. It could be any type of privilege. Come from so much privilege or have so little experience or so little adversity in their life that they can't joke about their life because it wouldn't be funny and it wouldn't mean anything and it wouldn't be important. So instead they just punch down, and that's all they fucking do. And if people say, hey, that's not funny, and it's just fucking offensive, they say, oh, well, comedy is comedy, and if you can't be offensive in comedy, then there is no comedy. Are you serious? There are so many forms of comedy. We have comedians that do great impersonations. We have comedians that are good at physical comedy, satire, irony, can write great funny TV shows. Like I said, can tell self-deprecating jokes about them, jokes about their community, jokes about experiences that they went through, stereotypes about their people, about their own insecurities and stuff like that. There are multiple ways to tell fucking jokes that don't have to be punching down and telling jokes about fucking Puerto Rico and dead people that you don't know in a fucking roast about somebody else. What did George Floyd have to do with Kevin Hart? And then the joke was, you make the black community crowd what he said, George Floyd is looking up at us, laughing so hard he can't breathe. That's not fucking funny. You're implying this man is in hell. Why the fuck would George Floyd be in hell? And who the fuck is George Floyd to Kevin Hart? Nobody. And people was like say, oh, well, he could, Kimmel could joke about Trump and y'all could joke about Charlie Kirk, but he can't joke about George Floyd. George Floyd was a random ass dude that got killed by the police. He was not a public figure. He became a public figure because his death represented a bigger movement. It was the catalyst for a bigger movement, the resurgence of Black Lives Matter, That's all he was. Charlie Kirk was going around 4 years indoctrinating college kids into white supremacy, spreading misinformation about black people, was pushing Trump. Trump is the fucking president of the United States. You know how many comedians joke about the president of the United States? They are public figures that have done actual things, were actual racists that deserve to get all the jokes. Because why should we be sensitive to fucking racists? Why? Why should we have sensitivity and have couth to people that are racist? But George Floyd was just a regular, everyday civilian. No one is making Alex Pretty jokes. Nobody is making jokes about Renee Good, who were in the exact situations as George Floyd. But somehow we want to act like George Floyd is akin to Charlie Kirk and not akin to Renee Good, not akin to Alex Pretty. That's fucking weird. And this is the thing we have to understand. Offensive jokes are jokes that are meant to be offensive. They're meant to be offensive. So if someone gets offended at your joke, you did your job. You can't be like, oh, if y'all get offended by offensive jokes, then y'all just can't handle comedy. The thing is, the joke's supposed to be offensive, but the joke's also supposed to be funny. If you get the offensive part right, but not the funny part right, you failed at your fucking job. And a lot of these comedians that want to be offensive comedians, they want to stand on, oh, well, y'all are going to kill comedy and y'all killing freedom of speech because we can't joke about things we want to joke about. You can joke about things you want to joke about. Dave Chappelle always jokes about trans people. Always jokes about LGBTQ. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. That doesn't mean, oh, he needs to stop telling offensive jokes. It just means, hey, maybe you should target something else, try something else, or make it a little bit more funny. That's all it means. You can't act like, oh, because this is comedy, I'm above any criticism about my jokes because I'm telling you that it's a joke. If you have to explain the joke to me, if you have to tell me, oh, but it's just a joke, maybe it's not funny. Maybe you're not good at your job. Maybe you should do something else. Because a lot of people try to hide being a bully, being an asshole behind comedy. But the main part of comedy is the fact that it's supposed to be funny. If you're not funny and you're saying offensive shit that you don't take seriously, you're not a comedian. You're just a bully with a laughing track. We as a people have to have standards in our entertainment. I understand with social media, we just get fed so much shit over and over again. So the bar is in hell, to be honest with you. We have comedians that ain't funny. We have rappers that can't rap, singers that can't sing, podcasters that can't have actual, real, objective conversations because they instantly start going into straight dumbass shit and talk about dumbass points and spread misinformation. We have news outlets that do not put out the real news. We have, because social media has encapsulated so much of society, we literally just let anybody do any fucking thing, whether they're good or not, and we give them all platforms for it. But at a certain point, we have to have media literacy. We have to have critical thinking skills. We have to have critical analysis. We have to have standards for the shit that we give our fucking time to. These platforms don't value our time. We need to value our time. We need to decide what is worth our time and what's not worth our time. We need to set standards for these people to live up to. It's not canceling. We're not canceling motherfuckers. Cancel culture is just a buzzword for people who don't like being held accountable for being fucking assholes. Cancel culture is just a buzzword for people who don't like being held accountable for having trash music or having trash takes or not having the talent that they get paid to do. We are giving a hard-earned money for you motherfuckers to do the shit that you do. And if you don't do good, we say that was not good. That's not fucking cancel culture. That's not people being sensitive. That's people voicing their opinions on something that they gave their hard-earned money for. And that's the new buzzword is, oh, people are so sensitive nowadays. People are so this nowadays. Eddie Murphy was getting boycotted. Eddie Murphy had people going against him. There's always been people that stood up against what they did not agree with and what they did not have opinions on. That has always been a thing. It's just they now have a voice now. But people have always been getting protested against. People have always had thoughts and been like, I'm not supporting that because I don't fuck with that. I don't agree with that, so I'm not fucking with that. That has always been the case. So this whole idea of cancel culture and society nowadays, and you gotta monitor yourself, and you gotta do this and that. No, you don't. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You just gotta be okay with the consequences that come with that shit. It's not about no news sensitivity nowadays. It's about the fact that the people that used to not have a voice, the people that used to not be able to speak out for themselves, now have the platform to speak out for themselves, and y'all are upset and butthurt about it. You understand what I'm saying? So this whole thing about, oh, y'all are too sensitive about comedy and y'all don't know real comedy. We know real comedy. Real comedy is supposed to be funny. Making jokes about kids in Palestine, making jokes about motherfuckers getting killed by the police, making jokes about hanging motherfuckers from trees while you're openly a Trump supporter and you platform neo-Nazis. That shit is not funny. Y'all have to be able to y'all have to be able to do your job right if you want people to get the reaction that you want. If you want people not to call you out for your bullshit, your half-ass jokes, maybe you should not give half-ass jokes. Like I said, y'all so against DEI, but a lot of y'all motherfuckers only have platforms because y'all are white. Because y'all can reach the wider demographic. We gotta call a spade a spade. A lot of y'all are DEI. Y'all are trash at whatever the fuck y'all get paid to do. But because y'all can be more appealing to a wider demographic, y'all get a pass. I've been noticing this shit for years. Comedians that are not funny. Whether it's comedians from YouTube, comedians that get public platforms, comedians that be in movies, a lot of y'all are not funny. But y'all get the platforms to tell jokes that aren't funny and then get to hide behind, oh, but it's a joke. Oh, cancel culture. Oh, this. Oh, that. No, you just fucking suck. Sometimes that's all it is. Sometimes y'all need to just take accountability and have some self-reflection and be like,
you know what? Maybe I'm not as funny as I thought I was. Maybe me, as a white person, making jokes about Puerto Ricans and black people, maybe that's me punching down. Maybe that's not funny. Maybe I'm an asshole. Maybe I don't deserve the money that I get.
We go to hip hop. Eminem was aware that the only reason why I'm as big as I am, when he dropped White America, is because I'm a white man in a predominantly black genre, and I can reach white people more than the average black rapper can reach. They were aware of that. He was aware of that. Some of y'all need to realize that. Some of y'all need to open your eyes and realize maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. And it's not just a white thing. This is across multiple things from multiple races. There's a lot of people, whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're Spanish, that just get a pass by because people don't have standards anymore. People don't have standards anymore. People are willing to just accept anything because social media gives you everything. And we just get so desensitized and so boom, 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 that we don't set no standards on anything. And that shit needs to stop. Some of the best comics, Chris Tucker, Martin Lawrence, Cat Williams, Kevin Hart sometimes, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, the list goes on of some of the best comedians. Whoever you think your favorite comedian is, for the most part, they know how to deliver balance to their specials. You understand what I'm saying? Gabrielle Iglesias. You understand what I'm saying? They're able to take things that happen in their life, experiences they went through, even certain things that hit the news about them and make jokes about it. They're able to impersonate actual public figures that people know and people are affected by and make light of those things. They're not looking for dead people, random dead people on the street that nobody knew before they was a dead person and deciding we're going to make jokes about them. We're going to speak about them as if they're equivalent to somebody else that people make jokes about. They didn't make their bread and butter off a constant low-hanging fruit and bigotry disguised as comedy. Were there some offensive jokes that they had? Yes. A lot of comedians were making homophobic jokes, transphobic jokes. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of them. Were people offended? Some people offended about it? Yes. There were gay people at the time that did not like some of Eddie Murphy's jokes. That did not like some of Cat Williams' jokes. That has always been a thing. Just like there are some people that like some jokes, there are some people that will not like some jokes. But the whole point of the joke is it's going to offend the gay people, but it's going to be funny at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? Does that mean that they thought it was funny? Maybe not. But did other people think it was funny? Yes. But if you tell an offensive joke and the only people that think it's funny are the people that benefit from the racism that exists in the joke, it's not that funny. And the fact that Kevin Hart, and that's the part that hurts my soul. And that's the part that pushes the point that I always talk about, that we need to let go of these celebrities. The fact that Kevin Hart was laughing at these jokes like they were really funny says a lot about where Kevin Hart stands with the black community. Where a lot of these black celebrities stand within the black community. That as long as I get a paycheck, I don't give a fuck, you can say whatever you want. And Cat Williams had a joke about this years ago, about how Flavor Flav was at a roast. And all people were saying was calling him a coon, how black he was, crickety crack, crunchity black coon, all this shit like that. And Flavor Flav's response was, they gotta pay me, so I don't care. That's fine. But in 2026, where our voting rights are getting taken away, where motherfuckers are getting lynched, and it's all getting thrown as suicide, even though historically that's not how that shit goes. When motherfuckers getting their rights taken away, when motherfuckers are getting lynched, when motherfuckers are getting called out, when they're getting fired, when unemployment amongst black people, especially black women, are going up, when black women are getting killed, when all this shit is going on within the black community, not only by black people, but by white people to black people, this is not the time to be joking about lynching Kevin Hart from a tree. This is not the time to be joking about George Floyd not being able to breathe. This is not the time for those jokes. Let us get over this shit first before you make jokes about it. If you have to make jokes about it, wait until all this shit is done. Wait until everything gets settled back right and we have our rights back and we can do this and we can do that. Don't fucking do this shit while people are hurting, while people are depressed, while people are losing their fucking minds because of how this country is run. This is not the time to make fucking jokes about it. Like I said, there is no cancel culture. That shit is a buzzword. I've come to this conclusion a long time ago. When motherfuckers make jokes that aren't funny, when they say things on Instagram that are offensive, on purpose, they purposely decide, I'm going to poke at these people. And if these people voice their disapproval of what I say, I'm going to instantly say it's cancel culture. I'm going to commit a crime onto somebody. And if I go to jail or if people decide not to fuck with me for the crimes that I committed, I'm going to say it's cancel culture. We've had celebrities touch children, beat women, take advantage of women, kill people. We've had celebrities do all of the no-nos that we as a society understand this is a no-no and you cannot do this. We've had celebrities do and say and commit the most heinous things that you can possibly do. And when they get held accountable, we say cancel culture is going too far. Not that the person that committed the act has gone too far, but cancel culture is going too far. A person beats on a woman. Come on, man, like back in the day, we could just smack the fuck out of women. It was perfectly fine. This is not back in the day. There are laws against this shit. Oh man, we used to be going around, hanging around in high schools and this and that. This is not back in the days. That is called grooming. That is called pedophilia. That is a crime. We don't care back, because guess what? If motherfuckers have slaves in their backyard, whipping them and shit, what are we going to say? Oh, well, back in the day, slavery was fine. But now also cancel culture wants to cancel me for having slaves. Where does it stop? What is too much for y'all? If racism isn't too much, if bigotry isn't too much, if sexual harassment isn't too much, if rape isn't too much, anti-blackness, if none of this is too much, what is too far? If motherfuckers killing each other and making songs about it ain't too far, then what is too far? That's why I say what I say. That's why I've been working on this project. I've been working on about humanity has been going for a long time. Not only has the things that we try to deem as okay been okay for hundreds and hundreds of years, but when people try to be like, okay, maybe we was fucking things up. Maybe we need to change. Maybe we need to mature. Maybe we need to have limits to the things that we need to do, especially if we want to stand on Christianity or religion, whatever your religion is. If we as society, multiple societies want to stand on religious and being one with God and being the best person possible and all these things like that, we need standards as a people. We can't be preaching Jesus this and Jesus that and then think bigotry is okay. And then think taking advantage of children, taking advantage of women, killing people, genocide. We can't think these things are okay and also want to be Bible thumpers at the same time. Want to be Quran thumpers at the same time. We can't. But it's this cognitive dissonance, especially in America, this individualism, this need to want to defend men, to defend crazy shit at all times, specifically defend celebrities. Specifically defend celebrities. We have this obsession to always want to defend celebrities at all time because we live in this culture where celebrities and billionaires are just the top of the food chain, and they can do no wrong. Especially if I support what they do, whether it's good or bad. We have to set standards, bro. People want to act like criticism is dead and we can't criticize things anymore. We can criticize things, but guess what? Just like somebody will criticize it, somebody will always get mad at the person for criticizing. You understand what I'm saying? We got to do better. We got to do better. We really do. Comedians have to do better. Musicians have to do better. Artists have to do better. Writers have to do better. As far as like writing TV shows, capitalism has sucked the soul out of so much shit that literally there are no standards anymore. There is no gatekeeping anymore. There is no quality check anymore. We can just do, say, and do whatever the fuck we want, and just hide behind buzzwords. Oh, they trying to cancel me. Cancel culture is a sickness. Cancel culture is killing music. Cancel culture is killing comedy. Cancel culture is killing... No, it's not. That thing itself is killing itself. That's what capitalism does. It isn't people holding people accountable that's killing something. It's the thing itself killing something. Comedy and the lack of a quality check in comedy is what's killing comedy. The lack of quality check in music is what's killing music. The lack of quality check in how businesses run is what's killing it. The lack of quality check, the lack of accountability that's being held to billionaires, it's what's killing billionaires, is what's killing the economy. That is how these things work. Money becomes such an important thing. Attention becomes such an important thing to these things that quality goes out the window and everything starts to eat itself. That's what the problem is. Comedians are killing comedy. Unfunny comedians are killing comedy. Untalented musicians are killing music. Ignorant podcasters is what's killing podcasts. You understand what I'm saying? People that don't know what the fuck they're talking about have the platform to talk about shit that they don't know anything about. That's what's killing podcasts. And we need to come to this realization. It's not people holding people accountable and having criticisms and having opinions about the quality of people's work that's killing people's work. It's the fact that people don't give a fuck what they put out that's killing people's work. That's killing these industries. Because it's all about consumerism. It's not about quality check. It's just about, I'm about to wrap it up, but you have fashion companies selling you garbage bags as fashion. Like, quality is just gone. It's all about, we know that these people are going to jump on whatever the new hot thing is, so we're going to just give it to them because they're going to jump on it without any barriers of quality check whatsoever. If this is the new Gucci, they're going to run to it even if it's a plain white t-shirt that costs $500. They're going to run and get it because it's the new Gucci. We're giving you the same iPhone that we gave you 3 years ago, but we're going to put a new number on the name, and people are going to run and get it. Because Kevin Hart is a popular comedian, people are going to run to the roads just because Kevin Hart, not caring about the quality. That is the standard that we're setting. If the name is big enough, whether we trust the quality of it or not, if the name is big enough, people are going to run to it. That's the standard we have set. And that's how you get bullshit like the Kevin Hart rules. That's how you get bullshit like the low quality music that we get sometimes. Even though low quality music has always existed, the fact that it's in abundance and that there is no quality check and more people can see it, and low quality music can become a hit if enough people jokingly listen to it and give it attention. That's how these podcasts that put out misinformation and spew hatred and spew bigotry and give platforms to people that don't deserve platforms get the attention, because we have no quality check. But that's it for me. I want to wrap it up. Kevin Hart, I'm disappointed in you, but I'm also not surprised. Cat Williams, I'm very surprised with the rant that you went on Shannon Sharp a few years ago. I'm highly surprised that you allowed yourself to be on this platform. Tony Hinchcliffe, people like Andrew Schultz, people like, what's the dude name? Theo Von. A lot of those people don't be funny to me. If you think he's funny, that's up to you. But me, I feel like telling certain jokes, punching down, doing certain things, certain behavior, aligning yourself with certain people, not doing your due diligence as a person. Like, comedians and artists are meant to writers, because comedians are writers. They're meant to take the real life things. That's what Dave Chappelle, in a sense, is best at. Taking serious matters, making jokes out of them, but also giving you a lesson at the end. A lot of these comedians nowadays don't have the mental capacity to actually break down something intellectually and form it in a way that's a joke, but it can also give a moral lesson at the end of the day. A lot of them just get on stage and say offensive shit and then get off stage and make millions and millions of dollars. And nobody gets anything after except a few chuckles, if that. I'm gonna wrap it up. We just gotta do better. We have to hold people to higher standards. And I know I'm gonna say that over and over again. And there are gonna be some people that are gonna complain, oh, why does everything tied to white supremacy? Why does everything tied to patriarchy? Why does everything tied to this? Because everything does tie to that. Because everything does tie to that. You understand what I'm saying? If a comedian gets on stage and goes crack a racist white people joke for hours and hours and hours, if somebody gets on stage and does a whole set just spewing misinformation about Jewish people, starts spreading misinformation about the Asian community, and they're not Asian, they would hold people accountable for that. But a white man can get on stage, or a person like Charlie Kirk could go to these colleges and spread misinformation and push stereotypes and all these things about black people, make jokes about killing black people, and it's just comedy. It's just comedy. Y'all are too sensitive. No, you're a fucking dumbass, and he's a fucking dumbass, and I don't want to consume dumbass shit. I'm sorry. You understand what I'm saying? But that's it for me. I'm out. The video I've been writing and working on, maybe it'll come out in a few weeks or whatever like that. I'm trying to write the script. I'm trying to get all the information I can about it on that episode, because it has to do with wrestling. It also has to do with capitalism. I don't think it has much to do with white supremacy, but it can tie into it because that ties into everything. But that's it for me. I'm out. Too sweet. Deuces.